Oh, you want me to open it up?
Alright, what's up guys? Merry Christmas. This is Spooky. This is a special episode of the TeamSpooky show. This is all headed by ZTB, so make sure you all give him your thanks. Anyway, his idea is he wants to run basically a training mode tutorial, which is going to show you some of the techniques that are most effective for testing your strings in training mode, testing how to get out of various setups, testing how fuzzies work, or whatever else. There are a lot of various things that that ZTB likes to use in training mode. Some of these things even I'm not that strong in. He probably knows them a lot better than me because he tends to experiment with more characters than I do and with more setups than I do. So the idea here is I'm gonna walk you through most of the things he uses, while he's gonna show you pretty much what he uses directly with some of my assistants here or there on player 2 side. Alright, hopefully you guys can hear me clearly. If you cannot hear me clearly, please post or something and I'll lower the volume on the game sound. Fuck it. Move some of this. Once again guys, Merry Christmas. Shout outs to all the multiplayers. That's fine. Okay. The most basic feature is being able to restart. I think you can use the select button for this also, but it's useful for just resetting what's going on the stream. And if you got a lot going on, you want to take them out of the corner or whatever else. Yeah, some people don't have select buttons on their stick. It's actually a common thing with PlayStation 2 sticks, so you may have to use the training mode reset option rather than the one available on your stick. Alright, for the life options, you can set their life recovery or what they recover to. Not really particularly useful except against certain characters who have certain types of health limitations when they get to a certain amount of health. For example, Aki or Chaos may be someone good to test this on if you want to see, okay, you know, what are my best options when this character's at low health. You may want to see if a typical bread and butter that you normally use is enough to kill when they're at low health, or if you should go for, say, a reset option or an Oki.
Basically, you don't regenerate anything.
Okay, yeah. If you have it set to no recover, there's no life regeneration, which isn't the most useful except when you're testing very specific setups. You may want to say, okay, well, you know, how much of this setup am I gonna need to land to be able to get them to die or get them to a certain amount of health? Pretty similar to the recover 25% or recover 50% options, but allows you more flexibility in testing different levels of Yomi or different levels of Oki.
Like Melty
Blood,
how she has like setups one after the other, and you can see how much damage you get rather than having the life reset.
Yeah. But ZTB mentions that he thinks it's strong for characters like Melty, where often the character wins by several setups in a row rather than a sustained pressure during the round. It's good for seeing the exact damage that you actually would land in a real match situation versus the damage that you get on someone who's at 100% health, which is usually a lot higher, or in Melty's case, a lot lower. Alright, magic circuit options, you have normal and max. Pretty simple. One of the useful things there's a lot of useful reasons to set it to max. For one, you get infinite meter, which allows you to test various setups. For another, if you're testing against, for example, an H-Moon character, if you set them to
I'll just pick a
yeah.
It'll only take like a few seconds.
Yeah. Damn, this is actually more complicated than I thought. I'm thinking about it. Yeah. No, because I'm thinking about like the different reasons why you'd use different settings. Yeah. Normal is pretty much the standard for what goes on in a real match. One of the more annoying things about testing normal is if you're testing against a half moon character, then at any time if you get them into max, then the next time you hit them, they're gonna get a burst option, or they're gonna get auto spark, I should say. Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't give a lot of meter, you'd be surprised. Like, her combos don't give one a lot of meter. Yeah, as you can see, if you get them into max while you're testing your strings, they'll auto spark. Max is pretty much, it sets them to max automatically. This actually is useful against H-Moon because it can allow you to test your circuit spark baits. For example, if you want to test baiting spark in general, this is a good way to do it. You can go for your strings and try to bait it out. Also, it's good for if you're running one of the few characters that can air your circuit spark. This is a good way to test it. Set them to jump, set them to max, and you can jump up there and just attack them and try to bait spark, which is harder than it sounds, but yeah, there you go. This just allows you a method to I think she actually can air throw them too, but shit is hard.
Oh, you don't get.
Yeah, I think she can do like raw air throw, like they gave her that. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. It's hard as hell to do. Yeah. Surprised you got it in the first try. It usually takes me 3 or 4 tries to get it. But yeah, this is a great way to test circuit spark baits in general. Also useful just if you want to test your maximal combos. For example, if you're an H-Moon character, good example is Roa has a specific combo that he can only use when he's in heat, so on and so forth. This is a good way to test those things out. Sure, why not? Alright. Yeah. Oh god. Alright. Like, who do you want? Sorry guys, I'm out of it. Anyway, this is just to show another example of a scenario where you'd want to test with max meter, and that is if you're using H-Rower, he has a very specific bread and butter that you can only use in max, so this is a good way to kind of test it out and just, train yourself to use it while you're in that scenario. Yeah, he has, here's another kind of strange setup he has. Yeah. Yeah, ran out of meter. But here's another example. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Hurry up. That's one of those new J-hand setups. Heat Super as OTG actually does a lot of damage, but again, just a useful way to test it. Oh god, that still hits too. Anyway, so that's the primary usage for max. It's just testing out various strings that you require Heat Super to land. Most useful with H-Moon characters, but again, can be used with anyone. Immediately max is similar. What it does is it puts you to 199, and pretty much any hit or any block you land is immediately gonna put you in max. not as fast an application as auto heat, but it's good for yeah, it.
Like normally when she goes to the heat, you want to go for the double.
Yeah, it's useful for Satsuki because when she goes in the heat in the middle of a combo, you probably want to go for a double air grab combo. There are other characters with similar situations where if you suddenly go into heat, you want to land a different bread and butter than you know what you would get by default. And this is a good way to practice that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you can explain unlimited.
Yeah.
Put it on half.
Unlimited is kind of the default pretty much when you just want unlimited meter. You want to test whatever the heck you want. It's also useful because if you test against a half moon meter and you set them into unlimited, they won't auto spark like no matter what you hit them with. So that's useful when you actually want to test some stuff against an H moon character and you don't want the auto spark to constantly get in the way of what you're testing. So yeah, as you see in this scenario, half Scion won't auto spark despite the fact that she actually has max meter at the moment. And you can still yeah. In this mode you're technically in max, but like I said, auto spark doesn't set off. You still have to activate if you want to go for a blood heat. But one of the useful things is, again, you can activate, you can go for initiative heat, you can use pretty much whatever setup that you want to go for as if you were in max without having to worry about half moon defensive options. Also, you're not really limited by when you have to land your combo or what timing. You can pretty much just go willy-nilly, do whatever you want to test. Yeah, for example, there's an example of a combo that probably would be meter dependent. But you can do it at will if you have unlimited. Yeah, guard gauge. This is an option that that ZTB mentions he never uses. But what you can do is you can set the opponent to have a lower guard than normal. For example, if you know how if you shield or you dodge, your guard quality goes down. This basically allows you to start strings as if they were at a certain amount of guard. It doesn't actually affect guard quality, sorry, I misspoke there, but just it starts them off at 75% guard, and you can set it lower or higher. Again, just useful for testing various strings. You might find some uses for this against H Moon because H Moon has no option outside of bunker to save their guard gauge. You see 25% leaves them with very little here. It only takes 1 or 2 strings really to set them off. 0, yeah, wow. And 0 sets them to immediate guard. Actually, there is a use for this particular one, which I do use every now and then. If you ever accidentally air guard broken someone, you'll notice that they go into a really strange animation. This is useful for testing how to land bread and butters on someone in that situation. It's a situation that you land pretty rarely, but worth testing against because here you can see the really awkward animation that happens when you air guard crush someone, and it definitely takes some practice to land a bread and butter on someone who's in this situation. Again, this is something I use very rarely, but I have used this option once or twice before to test particular setups. Yeah. Damn, look at that damage. Holy shit. That's a lot. That's on Scion too. Alright, guard quality, basically how this works is, it's the same as if you damaged your guard bar by shielding or dodging in some way. So 75% is as if you damage yourself once, 50% is twice, 25 is 3 times, and 0 is when you put yourself completely red. So,
we can show without
okay, so yeah, we'll show them with 100. Alright, let's see where the hell the buttons are here. So oh yeah, damn. So you can see here how I've set myself to completely red, and you know it goes down over time. If you reset it, it goes back to 0. So I'll wait for this to fill back up so you can see it. Okay, so this is 100%. That's 75. That's 50. That's 25. Oh wow, shield affects it differently. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, I need like an E button. Yeah, gonna have to show it with dodge. Oh, where the hell is E in here? Damn it, Jim. Wait, oh, is the E button? Okay, that's good. Actually, I can use this. Yeah, just restart it again real quick. I'll just show it with dodge. I'm better off with that. Alright, let's try that again. Gonna wait for this to fill up. Alright, that should be 75, that's 50, that's 25, and that's 0, which is completely red. Yeah. And again, when you're oh dang. Again, when you're low on guard meter, as you can see, everything does way more guard damage than normal. Anyway, this is good. This is not really an option I use very much, but it's probably good for testing your shield baits. You know, if you're doing something and you want to bait them into trying to anti-air shield you or something and then rush down afterwards, it's a good way to test how much guard damage you can get in on someone who just air shielded or just air dodged to get out of the way of one of your setups. Also a good way to practice guard crush strings in random scenarios. Yeah. Sometimes you can't really tell what hit you're gonna get the guard crush on, so this is a good way to test and see what hit is actually gonna get you the crush. Alright, attack display primarily is used to actually there's a lot of uses for this. One of the main uses is for just seeing what moves do what specifically, what moves have a certain compensation value, what moves do what exact amount of damage, so on and so forth. Combo at the top obviously just tells you how many combo hits you've landed. Damage has two numbers. One is the raw damage and one is how much damage you're actually doing. The raw damage isn't really very useful because it's impossible to get raw damage anyway. The actual combo damage is the most useful number, and this is saved at the end of your combo. So it allows you to compare various various combos or various normals and help you get the exact damage. Versus damage, I actually have no idea what that does. Do you know what versus damage does?
That's for the red life.
Oh, okay. ZTB mentions how versus damage tells how much red life you actually do to the opponent with certain setups. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Compensation value tells you how much scaling you're at currently. It's a little awkward to use because there are some moves that just automatically have a compensation value. For example, 5B, as you saw there from CL, just has 90% scaling. But there are also some moves that have scaled proration, where it just goes down to a percentage of whatever you're at. So I'm not sure what a good example of a move with FCL is, but yeah, like VCon, a good example is like her jump Cs are 90% scaled per rate, which means that whenever you hit with a jump C, you go to 90% of whatever your current scaling is. So if you're at 80% scaling, it's going to attack 9% off of that.
Now the count value means like when it
That damage, yeah, exactly. Basically what it means is whatever number is currently displayed, that's the percentage of damage you're getting from the default damage of your move. Reverse beat scaling also is rated in the compensation value. So if you do a bunch of reverse beats, you'll actually see like what your current scaling penalty is. I believe 45% is the minimum that you can get for reverse beat scaling, and you can also kind of sort of test how much the compensation value comes back over time. There you see 5B is an 80% compensation. But as you'll see, if you somehow hit with multiple jump Cs, like yeah, just do like Yeah, actually, I'll just run this real quick, just to give an example. I'm gonna set up something very specific just to make it easy for you to see this. Where the hell is counter hit? Counter, and I'm just gonna make them. What the hell is jump? Enemy status jump. All right, this is just to show you an example of how skilled parade works. Okay. As you can see, as you land each hit of the jump C, the compensation value goes down by 90%. That's how you know you're using a move with skilled parade. Another example of a move that has skilled paration is 6C. Each time you hit the 6C, each time you hit 6C, your compensation goes down by 65% of whatever it's at currently. That actually doesn't, yeah. That's just for 6C, yeah. Yeah, but one of the interesting things is the charge version doesn't have that compensation, which is why the charge version is superior in combos if you can land it. For example, you're going to see the first one goes to 60. If I can hit it right, you'll see the first one goes to 65, and if you hit the skilled one, you'll stay at 65. Versus if you hit 2 6Cs, you'll just go down to 55. It'll cut you down to 65% of whatever's there. That's how skilled parade works. Versus regular parade just means you get 80. It goes to whatever that number is. So 5B as an example here. Even though I'm hitting it twice, you'll see the compensation value stays at 80%. That means that all this move does is scale. It doesn't actually prorate the combo. Another example is 2B. 2B has 80% proration. So even if I hit 2B, 5B, you'll see that I stay at 80. But if I hit 2B, 5B, jump C, it'll go down to 72, which is 90% of 80. So there's an example of how parade and scale parade works. All right. I honestly don't know how guard quality works, except that the lower you go, you take a lot more guard damage. I don't know specifically, for example, specific guard damage numbers, like, how much guard damage does a certain move. Yeah, I saw the other mention about the dodge and the shield. Dodge takes 25% of your guard bar, and shield takes 50% of your guard bar. Frostbolt mentions that, which is, as we just saw earlier, is pretty much how it works. But yeah, as far as how much guard damage various moves do, honestly, I don't know the exact numbers, nor do I know what determines how much extra guard damage you do. I would guess it's an actual percentage. So for example, you take, if you're at 100, you take double the guard damage you normally do. But I wouldn't quote me on that because I don't know exact numbers. Excuse me, if you're at 0%, you take double the damage you normally do. Okay. Total damage is not really that useful, but it tells you the total damage you've done up until you pause the game, pretty much. So once you pause it, it'll reset to 0. Max combo, max damage, just shows you the highest combo and the highest damage you've done. Same deal up until you hit start. Once you hit start, it resets it. Okay, input display. Input display just shows you your inputs. One of the useful things about it that is probably self-explanatory, but some people may not know, is the number on the left displays exactly how many frames you've held that input for. So if you'll see as the numbers go by, 28 means he held A for 28 frames, 34 means he held A plus B for 34 frames, then he pressed A for 14, then he held A plus C for another 14, so on and so forth. So the numbers are kind of useful in a way for testing how many frames it takes to link certain chains. It's also useful for helping you learn how to clear the buffer. For example, if you're getting accidental specials, a lot trying to super double jump, or you're getting accidental moves in certain setups. Yeah, there's an example of something that can happen by accident. If you dash and try to do 2A, at times you'll get 623A. Looking at how many frames you have in the buffer is useful for figuring out why you're getting that and helping you to learn how to correct those sorts of mistakes. Here's another example of something that often can be accidentally screwed up. You see 5C, 236A, 236C. You actually have to clear the buffer after the 236A. If you do it too quickly, what'll happen is you'll either get byte as shown there, or you'll get 623C. Both scenarios are actually really bad. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you wait after the 236A long enough to clear clear the buffer before you go for 2360. Just a great example of showing you why seeing how many frames you have is useful. It's also good for just helping you with input issues. You know, if you're having problems doing dragon punches, go in input display, see where you're screwing up, and you know, try to correct it. Yeah, AB dashes, another example. If you're constantly screwing up AB dashes, for example, there you see, yeah, he hit B before he hit the A plus B, and he held the B for 2 frames, which is a little bit too long, so he got a jump B rather than an air backdash. Just an example of something that input display can help you correct. Yeah, what was the next one? I forgot. Okay. Status display, I actually don't know the colors for this. I don't have the colors for this memorized, but okay, the way status display works is it tells you the status of your attacks as you have them out there. Red means no action, which means you can't do anything. So if you gotta move out there and you see red, that means you can't take any action until the red clears. Once it goes back to gray, then at that point you can press an attack again. If you combine this with input display, it'll tell you on input display, and it goes along with the frame numbers, which is really useful. It'll tell you how long you have until you can cancel, or until you can or until the red clears out, which is useful for helping you with things like throw combos or whiff normals. Good examples with Aoko. Aoko sometimes has some normals she throws out there.
Green I believe is like a free chain. You can go into any.
Green means basically anything cancel or chain to anything. So green means you can go into a normal, you can go into a special, you can on hit you can jump cancel. Pretty much means you can go for whatever you want.
See, I don't know. I think blue means like it involves something with shield. You cancel shield.
Blue is we're unsure on this, but blue seems to mean that you can shield cancel. Which isn't typically allowed for certain moves. So for example, if you hit a 5B, you normally can't really shield cancel it, but 5A, as you saw there, has a scenario where you can actually shield afterwards. Even A's are cancelable even on whiff anyway, but you can actually shield after during the recovery of your 5A. ZTB is going to show you an example here with knives. Alright, as an example there, you'll see that that air knife has blue on it when you're coming down, and he's actually allowed to shield cancel on the way down after the knife. You'll see that it actually has some red in the middle. I'm guessing that means that the only option she has is shield cancel, right? Like she can't she can do another knife. She can do IH. Wow, that sucks. Okay. Yeah, it is weird. It's like you don't get IH. You probably gotta do like 2-2 in the IH. That sucks. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, some of the combinations in status display are a little confusing, to say the least. You see the blue there on 5A.
There's a red and white. There's a red and white.
Okay. There's a red and white, as you see here on the 2-2, that indicates that the move is EX cancelable. So an example here, you see flicker jabs and somersault, both showing that they allow EX cancel or at bottom distance.
It also shows up on some EX moves too.
It shows up on some EX moves as well. I think that's partially the CO, where CO can cancel EXs into EXs. Oh, okay.
A guarded 216.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
There's also like, yellow. I think yellow involves something with like a special jump.
Okay. There's also yellow, and we believe, or as ZTB believes, the way yellow works is it involves special jump cancels, which means that you have moves that are jump cancelable in a situation where you normally cannot jump cancel.
I'm guessing like smart hit only. Well, that's the rule for every.
Yeah, as you see there, the yellow on Chaos Force C, which means he gets a special jump cancel. You see it a lot on launchers. Most launchers have this special sort of jump cancel property.
Sure with CL, because like her high flicker is.
Yeah. Anyway, you can see just before it goes to the red with white, you can see that yellow come up for a second there. Is that green? Yeah. No, it's yellow, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that indicates that that she gets a special jump cancel on the on that special. Again, it's a special that allows jump cancel, which means it's jump cancel in a situation where you normally don't get jump cancel. Yeah, it's only jump cancelable on hit. Yeah. Since the move also has an EX cancel point, you can see on the bar where it sort of combines the two, so it has the yellow, but it also goes on to the red with the red with white, indication that that she has multiple options off the move on hit. Yeah, I think that's gone now. Yeah, pick Roa. Yeah. You can see it with Roa. Yeah, we remember we were having the discussion about Satsuki, like 2-4A. Yeah, I don't even know what color the status is. We're about to find out. Yeah, it's gonna be something weird because he can empty cancel this move too. Yeah, it's gonna be a really weird combination. Green, was that green, white, green, white? What the hell? Weird ass move. Anyway, here's a situation. Yeah, you can cancel on guard. Yeah. This is kind of a weird situation. I'm not really sure how to describe this, but as you can see, we have Ro, who has a really unique move, his forward C, which allows him to jump cancel on block. It also allows him to empty cancel to EXs. Yeah. So you see the green brown. Yeah. Oh, the 62 and 4. You can wait. Oh, you're trying to do that one, yeah. Oh, the high row, okay. Oh, 2 and 4, yeah. Yeah, only EXs, you can't do specials. Anyway, just an example of a strange move and what it comes up as in the status display. Status display is a little cryptic, but You may have to experiment in combination with all the weird colors, but I think there's a method to the madness somewhere, and it's trying to tell you that there's some weird shit going on there.
Like the easiest shit to point out is like the EX cancels.
Yeah, the easiest ones to know are EX cancels. Oh, she does still have it, okay. That's the weird ass one though, because that one she only gets the jump cancel if she hits you, right?
Yeah, she gets it back.
Yeah, if she hits you, yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Nah, she still has it, I'm pretty sure. Oh wait. Yeah, maybe she doesn't have it anymore. Yeah, she doesn't have it anymore. Okay, yeah. Jump cancel on hit only. Put this one. I like how it doesn't even stay up, so you can't tell what's going on. It's like, what is this move? Isn't green like... Oh, wow, it's not green though, it's like yellow, okay. Alright, yeah, yellow is jump cancel, okay. It's got that orange at the end for the EX cancel.
That status display doesn't show cancels for certain moves, so it's not perfect.
Status display doesn't show cancel points for all moves. It's a bit imperfect, as I said, kind of strange. So here we're gonna show a couple of examples of moves that don't show up correctly in status display. Yeah, as you can see, the third hit of 1, 2, 3 shows up as red. However, it does have a cancel point. Yeah, but it's not showing anything for the third hit. Like the third hit should be showing something. Yeah. Like the third hit, as you see here, comes up red despite it actually having a cancel point. Yeah. Even though the move is cancelable, you see it just come up red completely. Alright, we're gonna see another example with F white line. Here's another example. This is Discovery by Bellraiser, by the way. And that is white full moon white lens spin move. I think it's just A, or it might be D. I'm not sure. Wow. Yeah, as you can see, despite the cancelled spin showing up as red, it actually has a super jump point on it. This was discovered by Bellraiser. A red move shouldn't have a cancel point at all. However, you can super jump cancel and go into a setup. So again, an example of where status display isn't actually correct and you have options off the move. Either that or status display is just unable to show you the option because it's just a really unusual option that's particular to a certain move.
Okay, first of all, I have a question. Do you think the bar is partitioned for different timings? It might, not for timings, because he says row is 60 is green, yellow, green, yellow.
Frostbolt mentions a question about timing. I don't think it has anything to do with timing. I think it has to do with they put in multiple colors based on the multiple options you have. So for example, green brown means he has 4 options off that move that you normally don't have off a move. So that means he has he can't cancel into normal, so they can't give you a full green, but he can cancel into EXs, he can jump cancel on block, he can EX cancel on whiff, which is something you normally don't get, and I think there's like another option that I'm forgetting about with that move.
Specials on hit, right?
He can cancel the specials on hit. Yeah, there you go. So there's four different options on that move, and I believe the color breakdown is just, it's trying its best to show that this move has 4 different options that a move normally does not have. Yeah, default setting just resets everything back to the defaults. Useful if you just want to reset everything and just go back to the beginning because you don't know what the heck you set, or you set too much shit at once. So you can just go in there, set a bunch of different things, and when you want to go back, you can just hit default setting and it'll reset everything to the default when you come into training mode. One of the annoying things is if you change characters in training mode, it doesn't save your settings. So this will be the default you go back to even if you switch to a different character for whatever reason. View screen just shows you what's on screen. Not particularly useful.
Especially like looking at this.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get like this one frame.
Yeah. Useful if you're trying to find like a particular frame of animation or something. Yeah.
You got like a frame viewer for that.
Yeah. Frame viewer, as ZTB mentions, is probably stronger at showing you these things. But hey, if you want to see it in game. Maybe you want to take a screenshot, I don't know. There you go. Alright, command list just shows you the commands for your characters.
You guys can see the command list for the dummy too.
Yeah.
Right,
if you press right or left, you can see the command list for the dummy as well. Useful because there's a dummy program option, which we'll be getting into a little bit later. But yeah, it just shows you the list of your specials and normals. Let's see, controller settings is, self-explanatory. Go in, set your buttons. Character select just lets you change characters, change stage, whatever else you want, which we'll be using now. Return to title, which is the bottom option, just goes back to the title screen. Pretty self-explanatory. Whatever. Yeah. Turn up that beat. Alright, in training mode there's a second page of options, and this is the more in-depth options, and the way you get to that page is you hit L1 or R1, and that's the page change option. These are the more in-depth options. These are the ones that are going to allow you to set up specific setups, so we'll be getting into these a bit more. The first one is enemy status, which allows you to set them to stand, jump, crouch, or I believe you can set it to CPU. Yeah, you can set it to the CPU. The CPU just does what they do in as in versus mode. I don't use this very often, but I guess it's good if you want a moving target. Just for testing various setups. Sometimes CPU is good for that. That's really the only thing I use it for, is moving.
About, I guess we'll get to that when we get to the down recovery.
Alright.
Because the computer will actually recover how you have these set.
Got you. Alright, manual means you can control what's going on the second player side. So as we'll see here, I'm just going to press buttons on player 2, and there you go. That's pretty much how manual works. Manual is very useful if you got a second player to help you test. Dummy is an in-depth option. Alright, we're going to come back to the dummy option because this is a really in-depth option, and there's a lot of things we'll have to explain with that, so we're going to come back to that option. But keep in mind the dummy option is one of the most robust features in the training mode. Alright, jump, very simple, makes the opponent jump. Yeah, it's pretty much repeated neutral jumps. Crouch, opponent crouches down. There's a couple reasons why crouch is useful. One thing is you may want to be able to test jump-ins on a crouching opponent. The other reason is certain normals can whiff on crouching opponents, certain specials can whiff on crouching opponents. Also, if you hit an opponent who's crouching, you can actually do more damage to them with ground normals. So you may want to, depending on the character you're using, you may want to adjust your combos or your strings for more grounded hits on an opponent who's crouching, because again, you get more damage that way. Standing is the typical standing stance. And there's an example of a move doing less damage on a standing opponent. Yeah, you see 531 damage there versus on a crouching opponent it does 595. So as you can see, someone who gets hit crouching takes a lot more damage. Again, that only counts until you launch them. So one of those things worth practicing is if you hit a crouching opponent, you want to stick more grounded normals in on them before you take them to the air because you're going to get more damage out of it. There's also another major reason why crouching is useful, which we'll probably see in a moment. Enemy action. This is kind of useful and then kind of not. Basically, what enemy action does is after a certain amount of time, the enemy does whatever the action is, and this is based on whatever their status is. So if you set them to stand, he's gonna do when the action time resets, he's gonna do stand B. If you set him to crouch, then when the action time resets, he's gonna do crouch B. Yeah, as you see there. Not as useful as the next option, but there are some scenarios where knowing what they're going to do can be useful for your setups. Yeah, it's difficult to use because you can't really tell what angle the opponent's gonna do it, but there's an option for making them jump and use an attack as well. Again, not as useful as it could be, but Action D just means that when the time runs out, they're gonna shield. If you set them to an H-Moon character, they're gonna auto counter. Pretty much, other than that, self-explanatory. Very hard to use because again, shields have to be very accurate, and it's tough to time your attack in with the CPU, who's using a very strange timer. Okay, Recover A. Recover A. This is probably the most useful new addition to the game, period. And basically the way this works is whenever the dummy recovers from whatever's happening to them, the first thing they're gonna do is at the fastest possible timing, which is 1 frame length, they're gonna throw an attack. Extremely useful for testing out staggers, extremely useful for testing out jump-ins, for testing out throw setups, for testing out dodges, for testing out wake-up baits, for testing meaties. Pretty much anything that you could think of testing in real match scenarios, this is gonna emulate for you perfectly. Especially great, for example, Crescent Shiki's Crouch A is one of the furthest moving Crouch A's in the game. It's also very fast, so it's great. Again, here you see a situation where we're testing staggers. If you see the counter hit, you know you've landed it properly. If you get hit, that means you screwed up your stagger. So here's a situation where it can be used to test staggers. Again, it can be used in any and all scenarios. So as you'll see here, you can set them to block, and immediately on the first frame possible, they'll attack. So here's an example of some of VScion strings that are useful in this scenario. Hopefully you guys will still be able to hear me as I test some of this stuff out. Also useful for setting up anti-A armor. Yeah, if I'm not doing it properly, but if you set this up right, you'll actually armor. Wow, like timing is that good. I don't even need the armor anymore. There you go. As you see there, there's an anti-air armor 2B. This is the at least for in VScien's case, this is the perfect timing. That's the exact timing you want because it gives them the most amount of time to react to your attack while you're still able to win. So that's the most useful time you want because it makes them think there really is a throw setup coming when there really isn't. So it's the hardest timing to actually land, but the biggest payoff. Also great because it allows you to test staggers on counter hit timing. It's also useful because in this scenario, after teching, first thing he's gonna do is he's just immediately gonna aim me. So you get a knockdown. You can test baits. Yeah, there you see dive kick armoring a 2A on a wake up. There's a lot of scenarios that this can be used for. It's also useful for testing if certain strings are even safe. So for example, one of the common things is against Shiki and Ananias, 6C really isn't that useful because Crouch A always wins. So you really have to have them afraid before you can use this move. I mean, it doesn't matter what you use. You see 2C here failing out. Oh yeah, that's right. There's also some other scenarios where this can be used. For example, I'll show you here a situation against Crescent Nero. It's actually difficult to test, but you'll see it, and I'll show you both ways this scenario works. V-Scion 6C on block is actually -2 or -3, depending on the distance you hit it. Usually -2. However, some characters don't have. I'm just gonna set these options up correctly. I'm gonna set him to crouch. Oh, actually, we'll set him. Yeah, we'll set him to stand first. I'm gonna show this enemy action. This guard all, and we're gonna set him to recover B. So in this scenario, what we're gonna do is we're setting up Nero so that immediately on block he's gonna do his fastest known, which is 5B. Now, usually, as you see there, 6C is punishable, but if you space this out properly, oh god, this is so annoying. Yeah, it's gonna be annoying. Alright, I'm gonna just show you the perfect distance. So for example, if you hit at this distance with 6C, God, so fucking awkward. Yeah, you have to hit at the right distance. Because if you hit from here, yeah, he's gonna win because he's too close, yeah. Oh god, come on. Come on, bitch. Stop hitting. Didn't even want it. Yeah, you're just hating on me mad hard. Yeah. Yeah, well, this is free. This is plus anyway. Yeah, like that's free. Yeah. Yeah, fucked up really bad to miss that. Charge 60 is plus. Yeah, well, the 2A is free. Like the 2A, like you can't do anything. Set on the crouch. Yeah. Come on now. Yeah, that's how you know I'm tired. Yeah, okay. Got the yeah, you just had to do it fast, yeah. There we go, now I got the time. There's a few other ways this is useful. Some of them are kind of just awkward or gimmicky, but it allows you to test like shield baits. Good example of a situation where someone is they may not be aware of the frame advantage. It's also useful. I'll show you another scenario. Oh wow, you can't test it that way. Never mind. But yeah, good example of a scenario where a Nero will commonly press 2A is after your redash strings, but in this case, if you space things perfect, yeah, it's hard to tell the dude. Yeah. Damn, girl. Yeah, not gonna be good. Yeah, it's 2A's godlike now. Shit. Anyway, that's just an example. I'm gonna pass this over because I'm sure ZTB has a lot of stuff to show with this as well. Okay. Basically, Frostbolt mentions. I'm not gonna get into the exact comment he mentioned, but Frostbolt also mentions that testing on crouching versus testing on standing is also useful because there are certain and I think I mentioned this briefly, there are certain combos that just whiff completely on crouchers or that will hit differently on a crouching opponent. So a good scenario for helping you learn your hit confirms is setting them to crouch and just setting certain combos. So here we're gonna have an example. Yeah, there's an example of a common bread and butter that whiffs on crouchers completely. Only works on standing. Okay. The only characters that this works crouching on are what was it? Nania, Nero.
Yeah, both Shikis, Nero, and Wara.
Both Shikis, Nero, and Wara are the only ones unable to crouch this. Anyway, useful for testing character-specific stuff. For example, Aoko's 236A, F Aoko's 236A is crouchable by certain characters and not crouchable by other characters. Good way to test that out. Help you learn matchups. Yeah.
Those same 4 characters you mentioned can't crouch it.
FCL's high flicker can't be crouched by both Shikis, Nero, and Wara. Just another example. Yeah, there you see the string correctly hitting on crouching Nania. Also, Temperate mentions that some moves will launch crouchers. Scion 5C as an example. Also notable because you may not want to use those moves on crouchers, or you may not want to implement those moves in your strings as often. Yeah, gotta set everything up. Alright. Enemy defense, alright. Okay. Yeah. Recover D under enemy action. There's a couple reasons for this to be useful. One is against all characters, and then one is against Half Moon. One of the things about it is the CPU will immediately shield at the first possible frame, just as it would with any other attack. This is useful for testing how shieldable or how unsafe the gaps in your strings are versus shield. Again, not really a strong option for the opponent. Not really something they'll do that often, but a smart opponent may want to take a risk to get out of a string. For example, I'll tell you a common string that I take a risk on. Sometimes ZTB likes to use with FCL, charge 5C into immediate 5A on me, and this string actually is shieldable from too close. It's not really the safest time to go for a shield, but again, if I think I have the read, which I don't always do, if I think I have the read and I just really want to get out, then shielding here is a good spot to take the risk on the shield. But again, there are always counters to these sorts of setups, but sometimes you just need to be aware. Sometimes you need to see an opponent shield you in an awkward position to understand where you may want to implement baits or where you may want to delay strings on smarter opponents. And here we're going to show ZTB showing, I'm guessing he's showing the counter to trying to shield after charge 5C.
I came up with like OS's a few days ago.
You got an action D instead of recover. Yeah. Alright, so here you're going to see one of the counters to this. Set it aside. That's fine. Wow. What? You're doing 2A and it's... Oh, okay. Yeah, it's stopping you. Oh, that's right, because you're F moon. Oh, man. That's godlike. Alright, here you see an option select where ZTB is using charge 5C into 5A 2A. The way this works is because F moons normals cancel differently than other moons. Upon the shield spark hitting, he doesn't get an immediate cancel point, which is what allows him to go into the charge 5C versus the 2A just not coming out at all. Then that sucks. I don't even get an option like that. That's pretty good. That's kind of like.
Before it even registers the TV, you go to 5 stars.
Oh wow. Yeah. Wow. That's pretty good. Anyway, here's an example of an OS versus shields. Hard to describe. ZTB mentions that in his tutorial he'll be showing more of this, but an example of a scenario where recover D is useful. For me, I'll show you some scenarios that I tested and pass me out real quick. I'll show like some random stuff that like recover D is useful on. Oh, your mama. All right, let's see. Actually, we'll test with someone with better. We'll make her without trees. All right, just some more examples of how to use recover D to set up strings. One of the options that a lot of opponents will use is action recover D. One of the options a lot of opponents will use against wake up is they'll try to standing shield on wake up because it beats crouch A. A good way to learn how to beat this is to learn how to implement 2Bs into your game on wake up and get the major damage on them. Also useful because if you have an opponent who's hungry for shielding.
Doesn't she have 2A, 5B, the order? You get to the shield with 2A.
Let's see. Nah, too slow. But what I'm using right now that I still like gotta work on it is shit. There's an example of how to beat shield. Just a typical example. Against crouch shield, there's another bait that's a little bit harder to use than on stand shield, and that's gotta set it a crouch first. Well, you do have the same option. Got it. Bitch. Yeah, but there's also another option that you can use here. 236C. It's actually you can actually use 236C, which is a bit safer if you don't want to go for the force knockdown. As you see, this is really good damage. It's more useful on crouching shields than standing shields, and the reason for that is I don't think Reese can do this, but some characters standing shield is slow enough that it'll actually win against 236C versus here's a scenario where opponents, it's also good for testing scenarios where opponents often will take a risk and shield. For example, dive kick 2A is a common setup where people will shield. So it's good for testing those sorts of setups. It's also good for testing shield baits in general. Vampire Sign one of the strongest characters as far as shield bait game goes. Let's see, another example of a place where people will shield often is damn, why didn't she do it yet? just an example of a scenario where someone often is going to wake up shield waiting for the 2A and the counter. Oh yeah, and one of the big mentions is you can't actually shield meaties. So if you're trying to test like these sorts of setups and you're finding that you're not getting the shield, wow, damn it. It's probably because you've actually hit with the moving meaty. Yeah. So the CPU actually cannot shield a complete meaty. Alright, I'm gonna pass this over. Just wanted to show an example of some places.
Jump is kind of flat up with the action, so you have to do like recover.
Yeah. Jumping isn't as accurate with the recover. Yeah, it doesn't wait to get hit. It just waits until it recovers from jump startup, so to speak, to throw out attacks. Still somewhat useful. I actually used this with Chaos to test how to beat his jump C. Yeah, just an example of a scenario that will think it's used Chaos will often jump up with C to beat opponents who are who are teching from the air. So a good example of something. Also a somewhat easy way to test baiting certain moves in the air shield, or a good way for testing people who press buttons on tech also. The air tech, you can tag them out. Yeah. Okay. Next we're gonna talk about the enemy defense types. The most useful is probably all guard, and pretty much that just makes the CPU guard everything. Easiest to implement with the enemy actions. So for example, you can have the opponent jump up. Here's a good way to test guard crushes. I mean guard breaks, excuse me, not guard crushes. Guard breaks is have the opponent jump in all guard and then try to guard break them on the way down. Also good because you can set the opponent to crouch, as you see here, and stand up in time to block overheads. So it allows you to test block strength on crouching opponents, which sometimes have slightly different pushback than the same guard strengths on standing opponents. As ZTB is about to show, it's good for testing fuzzies as well, and there'll be an explanation on that. ZTB actually gave me this explanation yesterday. This is, as usual, ZTB teaching me something I didn't actually know. When you're testing out fuzzy setups, if you set the opponent to crouch and all guard, the opponent is still going to stand up to block jump attacks that are within range of them. One of the things you can do is you can learn to perfectly time fuzzy guards on these types of scenarios, because if you time it perfectly, they won't have enough time to go back to crouch. You'll see here in a perfect world, Ooko showing off her deep jump C to land jump C fuzzy setup. Yeah, there you see the setup landed correctly. If you land the setup correctly, the CPU does not have enough time to crouch, which means you've landed the proper fuzzy. You can do it off a double jump also, as shown there, because the CPU has to stand up to block the first C to not get tagged. Anyway, just an example of how to use it. Status guard just means they're going to guard whichever way you currently have them set to. So if you have them set to stand, they're always going to stand guard. Which means if you throw out any lows in this scenario, you're going to tag them. Useful for testing delayed lows. This is, I think, the best use for it. There are other scenarios you can test it as well, but I think most useful for testing delayed lows, because that's the most common scenario where you're going to hit with a low.
I think it's actually good for like one of Mekisui's setups, rather than have it.
Yeah. All right. ZTB is going to show another scenario where this is useful, and that's with F Mekisui. Got you. This is a scenario where ZTB is going to show that he can use status guard to test particular hits. So what he's going to do is he's going to set the CPU to status guard stand, and he's going to test his low options properly off the knockdown. So here he's going to take the throw knockdown, and he's going to go for the fake out into the low option. It allows you to practice certain bread and butters. It also allows you to practice the other option of fuzzies. For example, sometimes against a smarter opponent, they actually will block the fuzzy. They'll just stay stand blocking the entire time. In this case, you want to go for the fuzzy fake out into the low, and this is the best way to be able to learn how to confirm off of it. Yeah, as you see, all guard here is going to just block everything, including the fuzzy. Yeah. Yeah, status guard jump, I believe, just blocks. Yeah. Yeah. Since in the air you can only block one away anyway. Crouching is if you set the CPU to crouch status guard, they'll block everything except overheads. Anything that's a legit overhead. For example, Mecha Sui's jump C, as you see here. Yeah, Vampire Science 6C, which is a legit overhead. Pretty much anything that's a legit overhead, the CPU won't block. They will block everything else. Good. Yeah, it's good for an example of where this is strong is testing blue fire setups with Sp00ky. If you want to test the high option, set them to crouch all, set the blue fire out there and go to town. If you want to learn how to hit confirm off overheads, this is another great way to do it. Go for the overhead and go for the combo. Yeah. Also useful because if you set them to status guard, then I mean if you set them to all guard, crouch. Actually, scratch that. I forgot I said that. But yeah. So you see crouch, all guard. Status guard, excuse me. Yeah, all guard, he'll stand up to block the overhead. Status guard, he's actually gonna get hit by the overhead, which allows you to practice hit confirming it. 6C, as you see here on ZTB's part, is actually, unless you're very familiar with the character, it's actually not very easy to confirm off this move. Also, because you're hitting crouching and the pushback is different, you have to confirm to a slightly different combo if you want your forward AAA bread and butter. So just a good way to practice hitting with overheads in general. Another good example is Crescent Akia 82C, which is the OG overhead setup. This is a great way to test that out and test what you're gonna do when you hit. Also good because certain setups, again Akia with the Tiger Need Flame, will act differently on crouches than they do on standing. So it's a good way to test what happens. Yeah, like it's easier to get the cross up on a croucher than on someone who's standing. No. Yeah, status guard. Yeah, just see how a crouching opponent reacts differently. Yeah, I think they actually made that move slower too, so it's like there you go. Yeah. So there you see a good way to practice your A2C setups if you happen to be a Crescent Akia player. I know there aren't too many of you guys left anymore, but I'm sure there's one of you out there somewhere. Frank the Tank plays Crescent Akia as an example. So yeah, a great way to test setups. Enemy defense or shield just means they'll shield pretty much whatever attack comes their way. If you set them to Crescent, as you see here, they're gonna multi-shield, so they're just gonna shield everything. There are a couple of spots where this actually is useful. If you set them to jump and all shield, an example of a scenario where opponents often shield is with Mecha Sui. If you do Heat Super and they're in the air, they're gonna shield on the most likely they're gonna shield on the way down because they want to take the throw. But the throw is actually harder to land than it sounds, so it's a good way to practice landing the throw option on an opponent who jumps in on Mecha Sui Super. Other scenarios. For example, Akia 236C. is a move that people often will shield because they don't have a better option at the time, and that if they shield that, you can actually grab it. Yeah, as you see there, they don't have enough time to move after the shield, which means you can grab them. Yeah, ZTB mentions that this also can help you figure out how many shield inputs you need for certain attacks. Wow, it's unshieldable. Wow. Yeah, there you see Akia's Heat Super completely, yeah, just learned Akia's Heat Super completely unshieldable. Status shield is similar to status guard. It just means they're gonna shield the way they're standing. So if you go for something that's shieldable standing, then he's gonna stand shielded. If you go for as you see, crouch A is stand shieldable, so it will shield it. But if you go for 2B, which is not stand shieldable, you'll get the hit. You also get the counter hit because it will attempt to shield. Yeah, you see there. Yeah, if you set them to crouch, then similar scenario. They're gonna crouch shield everything that's crouch shieldable, including standing A, which is crouch shieldable. But they won't correctly shield 5B or 5C, which are attacks that cannot be shielded crouching. Also, jump attacks. Well, jump A is shieldable crouching, but jump B and jump C are also A2C, as you see there, not shieldable crouching, which allows you an opportunity to land a bread and butter. Enemy defense dodge, as you see there, they'll react to an attack by dodging. There are a couple places where this is really useful, mostly on wake up setups. There are some scenarios where there are players who will wake up dodge when they see a certain setup just to take that risk, and it's a good way to practice against the wake up dodge option and learn how to punish it properly. Yeah. There you see one of the common scenarios where you can punish wake up dodge, and that's by just throwing out a bunch of A's and tagging the recovery. Yeah, there you see wow, and there you see a scenario where you actually usually are not fast enough to get the punish, and that's if someone dodges a C attack, especially Akia's 5C or 4C. Yeah, but there you see A2C, of course, giving you more than ample time to punish the dodge, because her recovery on that is very fast. I mean, she can combo 6C off of it, so dodging it not really an option. Rudy asks if this is gonna be archived. Yes, it is. All right, enemy defense type. Normal is just normal. Combo means that that they'll take a combo and then they'll block if you fail the combo. Yeah, you do have to wait a while afterwards for them to stop blocking. Yeah, it works after throw as well, ZTB mentions. If you grab the opponent, they will guard immediately on wake up. Recover A, yeah. Yeah, so you'll see if you set them to recover A and set them to combo type, what they'll do is they'll recover with 2A and then they'll immediately block after. Yeah. Just an example of how robust the training mode is and how you can set them to complicated things. Random guard, most useful for hit confirms, although there are other scenarios where it's useful, and that basically just means that the CPU is going to guard at random. Sometimes they'll block, sometimes they won't. And great for testing staggers, great for testing setups, great for testing hitting the opponent at awkward positions, great for testing if an overhead is going to hit or not. Just a lot of situations where it's really useful. Yeah, it's got like a hit confirms, and it's great for everything else as well. I mean, especially if you're not playing as many live matches and you're not used to scenarios where the opponent may or may not block. It's great for familiarizing yourself with what combo options, what hit confirm options you have over various hits, no matter what the angle is. Here an example of how to practice a hit confirm with it. You'll see ZTB going for 623A. And you'll see he's buffering the follow-up attack for when it hits. Did you set it to random? Oh, there we go. Okay. So you'll see him buffering, and as soon as he lands the hit, look at that guard. There you go. As soon as he lands a hit, he gets to confirm. So a great way for practicing. Confirms of all types. I use this as well as the recover A option religiously. These are probably the two options I use the most. ZTB I think uses much more varied options compared to what I do, but this and the recover A options I use the most because those are the two scenarios that I like my offense to be strongest against. Yeah, here you see another example of a scenario. Charge 2C, which is kind of a strange little overhead that people sometimes get hit with that random even if they're blocking standing. And it has two different options based on whether it's blocked or hit. So you see ZTB here using random guard option to show how he confirms to one option when it does hit, and how he confirms to a different option when it's blocked, so that he can stay in their face and attack. Yeah, there you go. Alright, and normal just takes everything back to normal as usual. Alright, yeah, the default on page 2 is the same as default on page 1, just sets everything back to the beginning, back to donut. I don't have any here. I see Fox chilling. Third strike, yo. Street Fighter 3. Wrong game, nigga. It's cause we were talking about hit confirm, so he's like, it's third strike. Alright, so the next option we're going to get into is air recovery. If you turn air recovery off, then when you launch an opponent into the air, off of whatever, even if you drop the combo, they won't tech. Yeah, here you see examples. Not really that useful, but there are a couple places where the opponent won't tech here or there, I guess. Neutral just means they're gonna recover neutral, which means they're gonna recover without pressing anything on this, pressing any direction on the stick. That's the full option. Believe it or not, most opponents actually don't use neutral tech. Most of them either tech forward or back. So, depending on your setups, here you'll see an example of back tech, which is when an opponent is probably afraid and wants to tech away. Good for testing, chasing opponents who tech. Yeah, an example there of a scenario where an opponent will commonly tech back. Forward tech. A similar scenario. This is mostly used by smarter players who want to confuse you. They'll tech into you and catch you off guard if you try to chase down their back tech. Anyway, great way to test punishing forward tech. Random one. Random one is the one where they always tech, right? Yeah. Random one combines all three options. The opponent will always tech on random one. They'll choose forward, back, or neutral. Again, most useful for just getting used to watching where the opponent is going to tech before going for your punish, which is one of the things that at the high end you really want to learn how to do. You really want to be able to see their tech and go for the right punish or the right attempt to punish them on the way down. Yeah. Random 2 is similar to random 1, however, at times they will not tech at all. Yeah, so either they'll tech neutral, forward, back, or they'll choose not to tech at all. This is, I want to say, the most, this is what I want to say the closest to what a human would do, because there are times where a human won't tech at all, but again, you're talking about computer random versus real world scenarios. Yeah, there you see a scenario where the CPU chose not to tech at all. Another scenario there where the CPU chose not to tech and got hit by the 5A. Alright, and turning, oh, I think we showed that already. Turning air recovery off just means they don't tech at all. Yeah. Oh yeah, we did show that, okay. Alright, for down recovery, this means, down means when they touch the floor. And if you set them to normal, they'll neutral tech. One of the things that some people I've noticed actually do not know, neutral tech takes less time than forward or back tech. One of the scenarios that I see a lot of newer players make a mistake in is when two players will trade counter hits in the air. You'll see one player, the smarter player, tech neutral, and you'll see the other player tech forward into them. That's actually a mistake. If they tech neutral and you tech into them, they'll get the punish.
Are you gonna try here?
Yeah, actually, I'll help you out. Yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah. Alright. Yeah, just put it on like. Alright, what else? Yeah, I'll just like do like jump scene and try. Yeah, and I'm like outside. Oh yeah. Damn. Yeah, let me try jump scene. Oh god, can't fucking beat that shit. Yeah, I do have two slows.
What was your example? Like,
yeah, it's like sometimes two people hit each other in the air and like they both land. One person techs neutral and the other one techs forward.
This is normal spot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah, too far. It'd probably be easier if he sounds mad. I'm going forward too. Yeah, there you see an example of a scenario where I actually tried to tech forward and mash. I didn't even have enough time to press the button. I just got flat out hit. But that's a common scenario. So anyway, one thing to keep in mind is neutral tech is actually the fastest tech option, and forward and back tech have a little bit more recovery. So if you both get counter hit, the opponent neutral techs and you forward tech, you will lose. Unless you just get lucky. Or you just fake them out or whatever else. Is that back tech right now? Yeah, that's back tech. So as you see, on back tech, when you hit the opponent into a situation that's ground techable, they'll tech away. Usually we're teching because this actually is a common tech option by players. They will tech away from setups, especially ones that are accidentally screwed up. But if you set them, for example, to all guard and back tech, oh god. Yeah, combo defense. If you set them to all guard and back tech, this is what combo defense to make things a little bit easier.
Once you get the hit, it'll guard.
Yeah, so once you get the hit, it will guard. Anyway, this is just a scenario where yeah, there we go. Yeah, there you go. A situation where you actually punish. You can actually test punishing the back tech. Yeah, as you can see, they will block when possible, but because of the recovery time on a back tech where you cannot block, yeah, there you will see a situation with a missed tech punish. But anyway, as you can see, if you land on the back tech fast enough, you can actually punish the recovery. Yeah, there you see a tech punish bread and butter. Forward tech anticipates the opponent tech forward. This actually gets used most commonly on corner OTG setups. Usually if you hit someone OTG in the corner and you mess up your OTG, the first option most opponents will choose is they'll tech forward. There are a lot of other scenarios where an opponent will choose to tech forward, mostly when they're afraid and they want to escape the corner. Also of note, forward tech for certain characters usually has a slightly different punish time than neutral or back tech for whatever reason. I mean, a good example is with Hisui's jump BB tech punish setup. If they forward tech, sometimes you have to slightly delay the 5A2C to get the punish. Versus if they neutral or back tech, even though back tech and forward tech I believe have the same recovery, it's a little bit easier to punish the back tech than it is to punish the forward tech. Yeah. Alright, I'm just gonna show an example of a bread and butter where people commonly tech forward and how to properly punish it. Oh god, combo defense. This combo, people commonly tech forward. If you punish it properly, they get no option. You have to delay the 5C. Yeah. One of the common places where people will mess it up is they'll press 5C too early, as you see there, and that can be corrected by just delaying it slightly. You do sort of have to guess correctly, because you want to do the 5C as soon as possible to, yeah, again, it's just a scenario where, you want to do the 5C as soon as possible without missing. So a little tricky at first for a V5 player. Yeah, they used to be missing completely. I'm just using the easy bread and butter to make life easy on playing this setup. Wow, damn. Yeah, anyway, I'll show another scenario with people forward tech for commonly. Wow, damn. Yeah. Wow, yeah. Without him practicing, it's just like one of the things I made me grind out a lot. Yeah. Anyway, another example of a scenario where people tech forward often is after throw, and that actually is punishable. It's just harder than it looks. Yeah, this is a punish. There's just one of the typical spooky setups. Anyway, here's another example where people will often forward tech is they'll often forward tech after the OTG, and yeah, if you're ready for it, you get a big punish. I'm sure you guys have seen me land that exact punish very often on people. It's actually one of the worst possible places to tech, but people like to take the risk. Yeah, as you see, you get a lot of damage tacked onto your combo for that punish. It's definitely worth it. Anyway, just a couple examples of forward tech and where it's commonly used. You see me actually drop the punish, which can happen at times. Yeah. This is probably the hardest tech punish for me sign, and it's worth practicing because if you get it down a lot, you can prevent people from escaping the corner. Alright, I'm gonna pass this over. We'll see if ZTB has. Yeah, see if ZTB has any setups he wants to show. Okay. Random is random one is the option where sometimes they'll always choose to tech in a direction. Yeah, they'll choose neutral, forward, or back. And yeah, this is the best way to test this particular setup because there's actually two different combos based on which way they tech. This is the combo for forward tech and wait a second. So yeah, there's a different combo for neutral or forward tech versus the combo for back tech. So you see me actually, I'm actually There I am. The CPU went neutral.
Basically beats out forward and even though nobody's back.
Yeah.
It's gonna cover forward and back.
Yeah. Yeah, missed the C completely there. Alright, yeah.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Basically, Spooky's demonstrating here. It's a good way to get practice and like, get the feel of random, basically, when you're going for tech punish combos. It's either going to choose to neutral, forward, or back tech in this situation. Yeah, basically, like I said, it just gives you a feel for like what next. You just get ready. Let's see. I don't know, for this particular setup, you may want to set it specifically to forward and neutral techs, because you're going to be reading for this kind of setup, basically. But I have a setup for CL that covers all three options, which I'll show you in a bit. All right, so I'll pass it back to Spooky.
I think there's like something else I want. Oh yeah, I'll show the other one while I'm at it. All right, for random 2. For random 2, the CPU won't tech at all. They'll add in not teching at all to go along with forward, back, and neutral tech. Useful for testing all sorts of setups, but for V-Sign in particular, again the same combo. If you go for both 60s in the corner, which actually less damage, you don't get an OTG option. If you go for 160 and go into the combo, this is actually more damage. Plus, if they don't tech, you get an OTG option afterwards. So that's actually the best option. It's also useful to know because if you land the bread and butter outside the corner, I'm going for one combo, sorry. If for example there's a scenario of bread and butter that you could land from outside the corner. How did I miss that? But if they don't tech in that scenario, you also get the OTG setup. Also good because it's also good for testing double OTGs, which Vampire Sign doesn't actually have a good one. But there you see me going for the double OTG, the CPU chose I got a bread and butter. Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah. You can still use the 5C even if you go for double 60 or if you go for 60 charge 60, which is the real bread and butter. Oh wow. Yeah, you see. Even if you land both, you still want to go for it because you do recover in time to hit them with a immediate wake up or to dive kick them if they're gonna press a button randomly, and it still covers pretty much all the options.
You can combine both options. Wait, was it down recover? Oh no, I'm wrong. No.
Yeah.
You already displayed random 2.
Yeah. You want to do? Okay, yeah.
I got something.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So we're gonna have ZTB who's gonna show some uses for the tech punish testing or the tech punish training mode options with full moon CL. You can open the thing completely. You might as well. Yeah, it takes a bit to warm up. That's why it's not warmed up yet. Yeah. I need to clean it out, that's why. The thing is I gotta get oven cleaner. Yeah, take that shot away. Alright. So we got ZTB is gonna show you some FCL tricks. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to set down recovery to random 1, which means that the CPU is always going to choose the tech. And we're going to have ZTB who's going to show you an OS tech punish setup that he's been using very commonly, and that's after 623 or after EX flicker, he's showing how he's option selecting for all tech options. Alright, so here's the first to show you what the neutral punish looks like. And here you see if you neutral tech, you get hit meaty by the by EX Blade Singer. If you back tech in the corner, you're gonna find yourself in the same scenario. As soon as you back tech, you're gonna get tagged by EX Blade Singer. You're gonna get hit even deeper by it and you're gonna get jumped up. Yeah. And for the forward tech, what's gonna happen here is alright, and for the forward tech, you're gonna see here that by buffering it, you'll get knife. Are you supposed to get knife or are you supposed to get crouch? So knife. No, okay. Yeah, I got you. So you'll see he's doing 6236 forward, quarter circle forward. What happens is if you tech forward, you get EX Blade Singer. If you tech back, you get knife into another EX flicker punch. So it pretty much covers any and all options, but just an example of a tech punish step that you'll want to test with random to get used to confirming both your options and what you can do off of it on there. Yeah. Yeah, you see the one hit. Yeah. See, that's a tough link there, but we're also just showing some stuff, so not necessarily warmed up. Yeah. Yeah, it's weak against no tech, as ZTB mentions, but yeah. Yeah. ZTB mentions that it's a setup that he uses when he has the read. He kind of has to know that they're gonna tech or not gonna tech when he goes for it. Okay, you see ZTB showing a setup versus the no tech option. He also pushes him closer into the corner so that the setup is a bit more invisible, harder to see. Alright, throw recovery just means that they're gonna tech punish throw. I mean they're gonna tech throw. If you set it to fast frame, they'll tech pretty much immediately. Which means pretty much any throw setup you go for, they're going to tech. This is actually more useful than it looks. It may seem like it's kind of a silly concept to set them tech throws, but especially against certain characters, there's a lot of after throw yomi, you know, what option to go for after you get thrown, and you know, that's all character specific. So as an example, you can set them to throw recover tech throw recover A, and what they'll do is as soon as they tech their throw, they'll throw an A attack out. So there you see 5B beating that option. But a good example is the Shiki. Shikis offensively can 2A on you after your throw tech. So just an example of post throw yomi. There's also a couple new setups. H-Len is the more popular one right now, and that's if you throw Tin Can Rocket with H-Len and they tech your throw, the Tin Can Rocket hits you immediately after the throw tech, which is dangerous. Yeah, you can block it, but if you try to move at all, if you try to do anything other than block after teching throw, you get hit by the Tin Can Rocket and you get launched up. Also useful for V-Scion. V-Scion has some throw setups that involve summon, and if the opponent techs the throw, depending on how you time things, you can fake them out with the summon setup. You can have the summon hit them immediately after throw tech, or you can go for a post throw tech mix up, which tends to hit really fast. Pick whatever, doesn't matter, whatever you want basically. Alright, we're gonna have a stage change here. We've been on one stage for a while. Yeah, let me see this bitch real quick. See that? Yeah, I'll just do it. Knock it out. Alright. Anyway, I'm gonna show some examples of throw tech mix up. This doesn't really matter, but I always say, alright. Throw recovery or fast frame. Yeah, we'll just set a top card for right now. Actually, I should say the status card, but whatever. Alright, I'm just gonna show some examples of like how to use. One thing to watch out for is immediate after throw, 2A doesn't reach, which means means the best thing to do is 5B. But oh shit, just realized something. Yeah, the thing is, I want to test the summon, but I gotta be able to hit them.
Oh yeah, status.
Yeah, I said the status. Fuck it. Damn it. There we go. There you see an example of a set that hits immediately after the throw tech, and that's you go to 2C Satsuki summon, BD5A, dash up throw. If you time this well, which is harder than this, the Satsuki summon hits immediately after the throw tech, and you get a post mix up. I'll show that in a second.
Crouch, recover A. Actually, want to see that.
Alright, enemy action, recover A, and I'll set on the crouch. Alright.
Oh, damn.
Nah, that's cool. I fucking did it perfectly. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. Damn. I got it. There we go. Yeah, there you see a scenario. The opponent moved and they got tagged by the summon. You actually get a combo for that, and that's fuckers. You actually get a bread and butter. Pretty typical bread and butter. But just an example. There's another scenario where you can land this, which is there you see the opponent hitting me out of the throw setup and getting forced to guard anyway. There's some other throw recovery options. There's the late break, which it's interesting to know because it breaks up the Satsuki summon setup that I just mentioned. If they tech really late, you really just don't have an option unless you throw right away. Yeah, the late break, it kind of as the late break kind of puts them in an awkward position. Typically, if someone's going to throw break, they typically break on the earlier frames, just as a note. So you may want to test off of early frame versus late frame. There's an actual random option as well.
I think random is there randomly takes the throw or randomly breaks it.
Yeah, the random option will sometimes take the throw, sometimes they'll break it early, sometimes they'll break it late.
Did you go right?
Nah, that's the 3 options. Yeah. Oh, okay, got you. All A frame, yeah. All random frame. There we go. Okay, got you. Anyway, if you go to all random frame, then they'll pick a random time to break. The thing that this is most useful for is, there we go. The thing this is most useful for is timing your post throw setups correctly. If you time it wrong, as you'll see there, I get beat out by the 2A. If you time it correctly. Damn, shit is hard. Yeah. As you see, obviously not something I practice as much as I should have, but if you time this well, then the 5B is supposed to win. Damn, babe. Failing. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you see me landing correctly. Actually hard. It's actually pretty hard to do, but that's the purpose of the random frame. And yeah, random fast frame means either they're gonna break the throw early, or they're not gonna break at all. Jesus Christ. As you see, I haven't been practicing lately because my stick is very as far as random late frame, they'll either break the throw late or they won't break at all. And then random frame just means either they'll break or yeah, I think it's like some kind of he was talking about that earlier. All right, we're gonna test this out. Where is Miyako time? Yeah, go ahead.
All right, for those guys listening in, Mr. Reza has a question. Hey Spooky, can you test a training mode bug that Shards might have discovered? Try and tech punish C Miyako with any setup. So that's what we're doing right now. I don't know exactly what Reza is looking for. Is he implying that you can't punish her at all? Get back to us on that, Reza. We'll figure it out right now. Yeah.
Alright. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna just set the enemy to, let's see. Yeah, this is good enough. Alright, so I'm just gonna set the enemy to this. I'm gonna set them to forward text since that's really easy for me. Yeah, I think he's right. Like, it is something wrong. Because that punish is true. Alright, yeah, put it on manual. Alright, what we're going to do now is I'm going to put it on manual just to see if it is a training mode specific bug or if it's something different. Yeah, like that punish I used, that's like a free punish. That one's really easy. Like I didn't land it once. Alright. Yeah. Were you able to block him? Okay. Yeah, ZTB mentions that on manual he's not able to block. Yeah, it seems to be a training mode specific bug. I'm not sure if it's just C Miyako or if it's something else in general. But interesting to know, apparently there's some kind of bug with C Miyako with that. Oh, my bad. Alright. Yeah, I can't block at all. Alright, so there's the answer to that. It looks like it's a training mode specific sort of bug regarding that. Alright, let's see. What else do we still got that we want to test? Yeah, CPU superior. I gotta agree, the CPU is definitely superior to getting out of tech punish shit.
You're on all frames.
Yeah. I don't really. Do you have anything you want to show with that? I don't really have anything else that I want to show there.
You can go over the last one, the last option.
Okay.
Random.
Yeah. Random frame just Random frame just means either randomly they'll take the throw or they'll choose a random frame to check out. I guess this strat could have some usefulness on someone who really wants to focus on their throw setup. Probably most useful with like recover A or recover B or something to tighten up your setup. God, that sounds annoying. Slightly string up one of the newer setups. Alright, let me see. Yeah, alright, reduce damage. I'm not really sure the use of this, but basically you can see what happens if they reduce your damage completely on the combo. Which actually does, I forgot the exact percentage, was it like 30% it cuts? Yeah. One interesting thing of note that I'll show while we're showing this is 6C, charge 6C actually does not work on Miyako or both blends. It's just an advantage of playing those two characters. You can't land 6C charge 6C on the floor. Yeah, even as you see, I timed it perfect and it just won't connect. So if you're a V-Sign player, fall back on this. I think for reduced damage random, it randomly just chooses it to reduce damage on it. I mean, again, not necessarily. I guess this might be a more realistic interpretation of your combo damage. That's about the only use. I mean, not really something I use, but I mean, if you have to absolutely know like what your realistic in-match damage is, I guess that's the option for you. Alright, let's see.
More wants to know that she falls faster. That's not relevant.
The issue isn't actually that she falls faster. The issue is that because she has a smaller hitbox, the first 6C hits her later. If you watch her animation very carefully when I start this up, because she has a smaller hitbox, the first 6C hits her really late, which means it doesn't bounce as high as it should. Just watch it closely, you'll see. Yeah, you'll see like her feet are just about to touch the floor, like when the 6C hits. And that's actually what prevents the combo from working, because she doesn't get launched as high on the first 6C, you don't have enough time to connect the second one. And that goes for both blends as well. It's pretty much the same scenario, because they're so small, it hits them later than it would hit other characters. That's actually what prevents the setup from working. Counter hit. Alright, let's see. There's two types of counters. There's low counter and high counter. Low counter is the typical counter hit that you see pretty much whenever you tag most things. One of the interesting things is counter hit has more hits than normal, which means that there are certain moves that I don't think this works anymore. I know it works with Crescent, but I don't think it works for her. One of the things you can do is you have enough time to this used to be free for me. Yeah. But as you can see, normally you have a lot more time to register the hit. Yeah, go ahead. Alright, so we're gonna have ZTB show you how counter hits work. There are two counter options. There's low counter and high counter. Low counter is, like I said, the typical counter hit that happens in everyday matches. If you snuff a move as it's starting up, you get counter hit. Sometimes even if you snuff a move as it's out, you get counter hit. Depends on the properties of the move itself. Yeah. Yeah. There's also the armored counter hit, which reacts slightly differently, but nah, I think that does combo. I've seen you hit it before. Yeah, I've seen you hit that before. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, there you see an example of something that normally doesn't comboing on counter hit. That definitely combos, that I know. Yeah. Yo, more training mode bugs. Let's go. So you see, I couldn't hit fucking 2B2A either, and that one's easy. Like I couldn't hit that shit. Nah, that should be low counter though. High counter is like, yeah, that, I'm pretty sure you can hit that on like normal counter. Nah. Yeah, alright, but that's just an example of something that typically doesn't comboing on normal counter hit. One of the most dangerous scenarios is it doesn't matter what type of counter hit. If you get counter hit in the air, and again, this is one of the main things that makes up Melty Blood. If you get counter hit in the air, you cannot tech until you reach the ground. I'm sure everybody knows this by now, but most notable because this is what makes up footsies. There are also counter hit specific combos. In NBAC, these would typically off of shield. However, in NBAA, people confirm them off of much stranger or different scenarios than what they did in NBAC. Here you see an example of a counter hit only combo on an aerial opponent. Yeah. Yeah, the 6B that you see there is actually a pretty common combo. It's something that can be landed realistically in matches. Yeah. Alright, high counter is sometimes referred to as counter hit of death. Typically you only get this type of counter hit if you hit with if you counter hit with very specific moves, or if you there you see a counter hit of death, or if you counter hit with multiple moves at once, usually a projectile. Yeah, they have to hit like at the exact same time. Yeah, there you go. There you see example of counter hit of death. Anyway, high counter gives you a bit more frames than low counter does, and yeah, but you don't get like I don't think you get the good combo effect unless it's like a high counter. Yeah. Yeah, there you can see the difference in stun in a high counter versus a low counter. You have a lot more time to confirm the combo there. Typically you get high counter if you counter hit someone's specials, but there are other, again, it's really specific to moves and normals and when they got hit and all this crazy stuff for when you get high counter versus when you get low counter. Another scenario where commonly you hit with multiple moves at once is the anti-air knife that you see here. Yeah. One of the most famous ways to land this is Hisui EX Stuff Fu, which doesn't actually happen in matches very often, but you see the lion combo videos. You see Hisui land all hits of Stuff Fu on someone for like 3k damage and then get like a really unscaled combo. That's typically because EX Stuff Fu at close range, all the hits tend to hit at the same time or close to the same time. Oh yeah, the hands. Yeah, neck arc 623 is another move where the move hits multiple. That's something that's kind of built into the move. The move just hits multiple times at once, and so it has a tendency to give you counter hit of death. Early neck arc players tend to use it as a fish move because if you do counter hit with it, you get a really easy counter hit combo. Yeah, I think. Wow, might have to be closer than that. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, as you see the high stun. One of the things about this counter hit of death is if you do get it in this method where you hit with multiple moves at once, it tacks on extra hit stun for each hit. So as you see here, because she's getting hit by 5 different attacks, it combines 5 hits worth of hit stun into the one attack, which is funny looking and pretty amusing. Oh yeah. Back, yeah, just the extra hit stun, that's it, yeah. Yeah. Again, this is a reason why this move is popular in combo videos. It allows you to do a lot of fun stuff with the added hit stun that you get off the move. Anyway, the most useful scenario for it is testing air counter hits and just testing what your best air combo options are, but can still be used on the ground, especially to test counter hit only links, which I feel recover A is an easier way to test that stuff, but still useful. Yeah, you see an example of a counter hit only combo from Hisui. Random counter, I think, just randomly chooses between getting counter hit and not getting counter hit. I don't use this very much, but there is one scenario where it is useful, and that's again in the air. If you're showing off fishing for counter hits, you may want to learn how to confirm off of not getting a counter hit versus confirming off of getting the counter hit. One of the tactics that I use most often, which is the jump early C with Vampire Sign, which is the Shoryuken or whatever. I kind of practice confirming whether the C hits counter hit or not, and based on that, going for either jump C, double jump C into the forced knockdown, or landing and trying to get the combo. It takes a while to get adjusted to it, but that red text does really help. Random low just means that if they do get counter hit, it'll be a low counter, as you see there. Yeah, and random high just means that randomly it'll choose to high counter hit or not high counter hit. Wow, that's weird. It's
not getting like that.
Yeah, it's not giving counter hit or death. These options, yeah, because only like one part of it hit high, that's why I did that. Yeah, like not all the hits are counting as high counter, so that's why it's not giving you the hit stun. It's weird. Yeah. Normal just means no counter hit. Critical hits, if you turn critical hits on, I believe it goes as normal in the game, right? Like just like it normally would. You don't get critical hits for every hit.
It's generated randomly.
Yeah, it's normal as in a normal game. The main reason why the critical hit option is off by default is just to help you adjust to your combos and not see damage that shouldn't be there.
Okay, I put critical on.
Yeah, no, it has to actually hit critical. You got to keep doing it until you get a critical hit, which is gonna take forever. Turning critical on doesn't make all hits hit critical. It just turns the normal critical mode on. There's no like all critical hit option anymore. They took that out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. There's an example of a critical hit doing a bit more damage. All right, default. We already went over that. That just sets everything back to default. So you can change everything up and say, okay, I changed my mind, I want to go back. You hit default, it all goes back to normal. That's pretty much how it works. Alright, the last one is the option that we said we wanted to come back to, which is dummy recording. And no, do you have anything you want to show first, or like should I show some stuff? There's a lot of stuff that like could be shown. Okay. Yeah, I do have one thing that I'll try to show with it also, like when you're done. Anyway, dummy recording is probably the third most useful option behind recover A and.
Yeah, how it works is like if you wanna like create a setup, you have to pick the dummy for that.
Yeah. One of the things useful for this is if you want to test escaping certain setups, the best thing to do is program the setup on yourself with the dummy and go for your escape options. That's the most useful setup. Also great for programming certain things when you don't have someone to help you. If you want to program punishing heat on wake up, if you want to program punishing an arc drive, or punishing backseat from chaos, whatever else, you can set the dummy to spam that move, block immediately, and just try to punish it. Yeah. And we're going to show you how to actually use this option correctly. One of the things you have to do is to set it up properly, you have to go to dummy recording, hit O, pick what you want to do, and then go back and set enemy status to dummy. And that's actually how you activate it properly. So yeah, in this scenario you now have CL is going to... Yeah. When you hit O, you gain control of whatever the dummy is. The dummy is typically the other player, so player 2. And once you go back to whatever your character is.
Also, you can transfer the status. When you take control of the dummy, you can transfer it over to the original player. I don't know.
Okay. When you're setting up the dummy recording, even though this isn't necessarily most useful, if you set up the status, what happens is while you're recording the dummy, your main has whatever that status is. So as an example, if you set them, as you'll see here, to jump or guard combo, what'll happen is what happens when you record the dummy, your main will actually jump and then go for the all combo guard, as you see here. So pretty much the status transfers over when you record the dummy itself, which may be useful for all of 2 of you that have the craziest setup on earth that you need someone to move to even be able to test on or whatever.
Let's see. You should mention that, like. Pause brings you to the menu and stops the recording.
Okay, if you pause, that brings you to the menu and stops the recording at whatever location you go to. So there you see 256. That means he pauses. That means it stops recording. Once he unpauses again, it's because he has enemy status set to dummy. The dummy will just immediately start to do whatever was recorded. In this case, walk forward, walk back.
Dummy recording
yeah.
When you want to play back.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have a habit of hitting O.
Okay.
When I program, then I hit O again.
Yeah, one of the things to be careful about that ZTB mentions is making sure that you don't highlight dummy recording once you have your dummy set up properly, because if you go into the menu and you hit O again, you can overwrite your recording, which depending on how difficult the setup is that you programmed, may be very costly time-wise. Unfortunately, going back to character select also resets whatever the dummy currently has recorded. Very annoying, so keep that in mind. Make sure that if you're trying to record a setup that you've got the characters you want. So here we see ZTB is going to use the dummy to attempt to record a fuzzy so that he can show you Damn, Reese. Yeah. So there we see ZTB programming the dummy to use the fuzzy on him, and then he's going to block it incorrectly to show what the fuzzy hits like, as you see there. That's just one example. It helps you to test fuzzy setups. Yeah, there you see. He actually, yeah, okay. ZTB is going to show another example of a fuzzy setup, or another setup that he may want to test. Here you see a setup that's anti-dragon punch. I believe this is also anti-backdash. In that, there you go. If you wake up backdash, yeah, he slightly mistimed, but as you see, if you wake up backdash, what should occur is the crouch C will tag you. Sort of an option select setup. One of the things that I remember Kira talking to me about was we had a this is related to training mode, so I might as well bring it up. One of the conversations we had is okay, you just knocked me down, I'm going to wake up dragon punch, what do you do? And Kira's immediate response was, I run up and block. And that's actually the wrong answer for various reasons. Even though you know I'm going to dragon punch, block is actually the worst option. What you want is to use an option select that covers the dragon punch itself, and these are things that especially the dummy or the training mode can help you improve on. Honestly, not sure what counter hit state shield puts you in. It definitely does put you in counter state, but is it counter 1 or is it counter 2? Don't know. It might even be moon specific. So you definitely got me on that one. Stuff food, yeah. Alright, here we have ZTB making a second attempt to program an option select. Oops, EX. Yeah, 2B. Just have it, yeah. So there we see a bread and butter, and now we're gonna have, hopefully if it's programmed correctly, we'll have ZTB show how this is, yeah, it beats backdash and you still get the bread and butter. Also beats Waco Dragon Punch, as you'll see. Yeah, the Dragon Punch misses, and you get a free combo. Me, not really. I mean, I can show examples of setups that you can test escaping. That's about it. Like, that's the main thing that. Yeah, alright. I'm just gonna show some examples of stuff that I programmed the dummy to do just for kicks. And again, if you have another player to help you, it's a little bit easier. But sometimes you have a setup that's just that complicated and you want to test it out. So I'll show that here. Let's see. No, Rudy mentions, can you change characters and retain your dummy recording? The answer is no. If you change characters, everything in training mode gets reset, including the dummy recording. So make sure you pick the right characters the first time, or you're gonna be sad. Yeah, it is a pain in the ass, and that's a change from the PC version. The PC version retained everything when you went to character select. Yeah, it stayed there. Yeah. All right. Let's see if I remember how to test this. Got it.
Did you pick BC on as a dummy?
No, that's what I wanted. I wanted Shiki as the Is it on? No, it's not on unlimited. You fucked up.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do like see on specific stuff.
Nah, well, it's like I'm just like showing an example, I guess, of like a setup. Oh God. Alright, start it. Oh yeah, I have to go straight to 5B versus her. Yeah. Like I'm doing like the versus chaos mode. Dropped. Alright, run it back. What? Oh, come on now. It's yeah. I believe Equal knows the exact number, but it's something really low, like 2% or 3%. It's really low. The damage bonus Equal knows. I forgot, to be honest. Like
30% extra. Since you reduced
oh my God! Come on, Shiki, stop hating. Hopefully I programmed that correctly. Alright, this is just an example of a setup that Shiki would typically use. When it's programmed correctly, you actually can't you can't escape it with normal methods. Okay, I programmed this in there, right? Let's see. Wow, damn. Yeah, I tried to. That was me attempting to jump just now, which didn't work. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Damn. Wow, that shit is in there perfect. Like I can't even start the dash. Like that's how perfect it is in there.
Hopefully I play it.
Yeah. Oops. Damn it. I turn it off. Yeah. Anyway, this is a good yeah. Oh yeah. Pausing the game and putting it back actually resets the recording. There you go. Wow. She can't get out at all. That sucks. Anyway, this is just an example of a setup. Yeah, can't do shit. Yeah, can't jump out, can't do shit. Anyway, that's just an example of like testing how to program a setup and testing what your escape options are, if any. Just something that I like to use every now and then. That's not getting you out. Yeah. I don't know. I think like 5C came out. Wow.
Yeah, they say try to counter 18.
Yeah. No arc drive. Yeah. Don't get that either. No. Yeah. I'll show you in a second. Yeah, she can't block. Oh, I fucked it up. That's why I fucked it up. That's why I can't block. Alright, it's my fault. If you do it correctly, you actually can't block, but I'll try and program it in there again. That was where the fuck up was. That's why it was so free, because like it wasn't even programmed in there, right? Damn, how'd I get AD? I think that's right. Let's see. Yeah. Alright, that was me trying to jump out, yeah. Yeah, that's how you know you got it right, when like it pulls the backdash in. It's like, nah, chill, backdash. Pulls in mad hard, Joe. Feel that like a motherfucker. Alright. Like she started it up too, yeah, he was like, nah, chill. Yeah, he can't block him. You just can't. I think this is the one where you can 623C and like it gets you out. Like I think that's the only way to get out. Wow, damn, she just doesn't get out at all. Anyway, that's just an example of like something that I would test just to see like if I have the timing down. I'd program it in there, I'd test it, then I'd program it in again, then I'd test it some more. I mean, this is a setup that honestly I rarely get in matches. I think I've only landed this setup like twice in a casuals match before or whatever, but just an example of something that I like to test with the dummy. Alright, let's see some other stuff. One of the other things that was it F Freeze is the one with the guy like 6C or whatever. It's F, right? Yeah. Anyway, just another example of something that some people may have a problem with until they actually test against it. What is it after this jump C, right? Yeah, it's that, right? I think so.
I think he does like 2A.
Alright, it's just an example. Works better if you put it on dummy. As you can see, like even though this setup looks strong, it actually if you set it up, if you punish properly, it actually loses to 5, right? I'm screwing it up, yeah. Yeah, it is -2, so like yeah. The jump option actually loses to to chicken block, yeah. That actually loses to chicken block and that gets you out. But yeah. It's like the reason. You also just wait for that because for the setup to be airtight, they have to but it's just an example of something that I would test and say, okay, well, how are you supposed to get out of this? You know, and it's like, okay, there are other options. But it also allows you to test like what options are good and which ones aren't. For example, as you see there, backdash is actually not strong versus the setup. Shield is actually pretty risky. The best option, honestly, is to just beat it with the fire. Damn, failed that. Yeah. Anyway, that's just another example. So it allows you to it allows you to teach yourself how to escape out of various setups. It also helps you learn how those setups work and what the opponent is thinking when they use them. For example, he's thinking, okay, I'm baiting backdash. When he goes for the jump C, he's probably thinking, okay, I'm going to bait the attempt to punish here, so on and so forth. So it allows you to test what various options your character has against specific setups. One of the other nice things with it is you can test if you've properly set your stuff up for the right defensive options, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. Yeah, this is the ZTB mentions that this is probably the best option with this. According to him, definitely the best option. What else? Oh. Yeah. ZTB mentions that
But yeah, basically when starting out with FCL, I had a lot of ideas for Oki and mix-ups and so forth, and like strings. And I'm usually paranoid about how solid or gimmicky a specific setup is, so I was constantly playing stuff back. You know, I would do like command throw, IED stuff, just to figure out how it worked. Like if it looked like it was good, I would test it out, play back on myself, see if there were any holes in it, any ways to escape it or reversal. And yeah, dummy recording is really useful for innovative players that just like come up with shit and you just want to test how solid it is. But even if you're going up against an opponent like mix up, like for instance Zach has really strong Oki with Whiteland. I recently tested one of his setups to try to get an understanding of how it works. Like he does command throw into the little ice pool on the floor, and apparently if he delays the ice pool like slightly after command throw, he gets to land another command throw on wake up. But if he does it early, it prevents it hits median and prevents like wake ups and such, wake up jumps or wake up not wake up reverse, but like wake up jumps or wake up mash. That keeps you in your place pretty much. But let's see. Yeah, it's useful for just basically fighting against strings and other setups that not just your own like strings and creations you come up with, but your opponents as well. If you see something that looks iffy or you think there's a way to escape it, you just record it and play it back against yourself and try your best to find answers to it. Alright, I'm going to pass it back to Spooky.
Yeah, that should be right. Let's see. Wow. Damn it, Yeah, there you see the anti wake up heat setup. Yeah. If you don't activate, like, it's still combos. Yeah. Damn, stop. Crazy bitch, calm down. So you see, this is an anti-activation setup. Yeah. And like snuffs it, yeah. I didn't program it in perfectly, so it didn't land the follow-up combo, but just an example. That particular setup can actually be used in a lot of different scenarios. I'll show another scenario commonly where people. Oh, okay, got you. Gotta wait for that computer. Yeah, like even if you get hit, it does like the same thing. I delayed the 5C too much. Yeah. You confirm that, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's an example. Just another example of a scenario where something like that would work is hopefully I did that right. Let's see. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, she had it in the old too. Yeah. Alright, that should be it. Pretty sure that's it. Wow, damn Vic, how'd I fuck that up? Oh, whatever. Run, crazy bitch, run. Alright, there we go. Just another example of a scenario where it can be used. It's useful because as an example, you may have to change setups up based on a character. For example, Mecha Sui, you have to use 1-2A into 5B, but Chaos, because his activation is a bit slower, you kind of have to modify your setup. And the example of the Chaos. I believe that's right. Let's see. I might have screwed it up, but we'll find out in a moment. Messed it up. Alright. Alright, let's try that. Oh, am I doing it too slow? I'm trying to set up the Chaos version of like that. You have to do like that to get it on Chaos. Yeah. Wow. Wow, 5B was out there, so I got this anyway. That's gotta be it. That's not enough. Yeah, I tested it before. Like I had like 7
It might be one.
Yeah, I'll check it again. Like. It's 2, cause like the 5B was like late there. Damn. Nah. It's like you gotta do it like right. I got a combo off this shit anyway. I don't care. Yeah, it's fucking hard to do on him for some reason. Fucking character.
Yeah,
Yeah, it has to be twice, because like that one was like too early. Yeah, it's no good. Right. Maybe it's a delay and that's the problem, because I'm not delaying it. Yeah, no, 2A delay 5B, I think that's what it was. Try that. Fuck it. Nah, it's two. It's two. Yeah, that was it. I don't know why I didn't clap. That was it. Try it again. Whatever. Anyway, that I mean, I don't want to keep you guys all day with me trying to program the same fucking thing. That's just an example of like some of the stuff I like to program in.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Alright. If anybody has any more questions, feel free to post up. Not sure if anybody else has any other stuff that they want to cover or just any general questions. Try to do this one more time because I'm annoyed right now. Too slow. Say what? Yeah, I just asked like on the mic if anybody had any questions. Spooky running my old science class at SAC. I think pretty much everything was covered. FAQ arc drive setup escapes. Mixer for the FAQ arc drive setup escape. Technically, just like the Shiki setup that I showed earlier, technically there is no escape if it's done properly. If she messes it up slightly, you can jump up, dodge. That's about it.
I saw a shield today in a match, but
nah.
I didn't shield all the hits.
Yeah. You can't even shield the arc drive. So all you do is you shield the flame. Yeah, you shield the flame. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, if she screws up, you can take a risk to try to escape. But if she sets it up perfectly, just like the Shiki heat setup that I showed a little bit earlier, there's really no way to get out. Like you just get hit. Just have to accept.
You can activate and take
less damage. ZTB mentions you can activate and take a little bit less damage. Yeah. Alright. Alright guys, you wanna say anything else to everybody before I Alright, here.
Alright guys, Merry Christmas. That's our present to you all. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was informative. Hope you make the most of your future training mode experiences. Last call for questions. I doubt you guys have any. You could just watch the archive if you missed anything. How long is this? Like 3 hours? You did 3-hour training mode tutorial? Alright. Yeah, it's pretty beefy. Again, Merry Christmas. Have fun. See you guys next week, whoever's going to the Kira Bash, and good luck to everyone who's going to Frostings. I have no idea how to say it, but whatever. Good luck to you guys going out to Chicago. Alright, I'm going to pass it out to Spooky. He'll send his farewells.
Alright, good shit guys. As usual, hope you enjoyed this special episode of the TeamSpooky show, which is technically ZTB's idea, not my idea. Just something he wanted to throw out there to you guys. Hope you guys all enjoyed it as usual. The archive will be up shortly. I'll be naming all the stuff on the archive because I know there are several videos up there that aren't named right now. So I'll be doing that now. Merry Christmas. Hope you enjoy it. I'll be seeing some of you guys next week in Chicago. And for everybody else, I'll talk to you guys all soon as always. Take care.